I'm Amy from Cooking with a Full Plate, and I'm coming at you today because I wanted to talk a little bit about the ketogenic or keto diet. If you've been on Facebook or Pinterest lately, you may have seen tons of keto-friendly recipes, and you might be wondering, what are these? What does this mean? And how would I even go about doing this if I'm a parent or I'm cooking for my family as well? So that's what I'm going to tell you more about today. So the keto diet has really been touted lately for its positive effects around weight loss and energy stabilization, as well as some positive effects around different medical conditions. Essentially at its root, the keto diet is a low-carb, high-fat diet. And this might be reminding you of the Atkins diet of days of yore, but really the difference between keto and Atkins is that the keto diet prioritizes fat, whereas Atkins often prioritized protein. And so when I think of the keto diet, I think of it as low carb, moderate protein, and high fat. And the reason for that is what you're doing is you're really teaching your body to run on fat instead of glucose like it normally does. And while it takes a little while for your body to get used to burning fat instead of glucose for energy, the body is incredibly adaptive, and after a short period of time it actually can make that switch, and that's where the weight loss and sustained energy and some of those positive medical effects come from too. With any restrictive diet, I often get the question, well, how would I do this if I had a family, and is this okay for my kids? And here's what I would say about the keto diet for kids is I really think that there are some studies that have shown that there are applications where the keto diet is positive for children, but in most of those cases they're for very specific medical reasons like seizures that they're seeing the positive effects. For most of your kiddos, I would say that kids really thrive on wholesome carbs that they get from starchy vegetables and from whole grains, and that those carbs are really important for their brain development and their energy. So I wouldn't recommend putting your kids on the keto diet unless you have had a discussion with your doctor. That said, if you're interested in trying out the keto diet, I think the really cool thing about keto recipes is that many of them are based on whole, real, unprocessed food, and they're naturally gluten-free because of the restrictions of the diet. And so these recipes can really be an awesome resource for your family, whether you're keto or not, because they have all of those other characteristics that most of us on this page are often looking for in our food. The other cool thing is that if you make a keto recipe and you haven't gotten great whole grains or starchy carbs into your kids earlier in the day, you can always just add a side of brown rice or quinoa or roasted sweet potato, make that meal for them, and then if you were doing keto, you could just enjoy the main portion of the meal. And I think that's a really nice way to not get into the habit of cooking two different things, but feeding your whole entire family really well with foods that are going to nourish them. So if you're interested in what some of my favorite recipes are, I'm sharing them over on my blog today. You can find a link right up above here where you can see some of the recipes that I've tested both for myself and other folks and think would be great for your family. I hope you'll let me know what you think of them.